I don't like feeling trapped. I don't like feeling like I don't have an option in what I do. I don't like feeling like I have to do something for no other reason other than, well, that's just what you have to do. I don't like the idea of having to work every day and just getting a few weeks off every year. I don't like the idea of not having the flexibility of being able to pick up and go whenever I want. I don't like that we do that and we're okay with it. It doesn't make sense to me. And maybe this is a midlife crisis, but I don't think it is. I think it's more of having a better awareness of what I want from life, and I want freedom. I don't like the fact that everyone tells you that you can't do it because that's just not what people do. I've heard it from so many people. I've heard it from friends. I've heard it from family. I really don't agree with that statement. And I'm tired of doing things just because they're what I'm supposed to do. I don't like what normal is. I don't like the idea of that. And I feel like we've all been conditioned to believe that that's what we're supposed to do. And we've been told for so many years that that's just the way it is, that it's hard for many of us to think of a different life than just working all day to pay your bills so that you can retire when you're almost dead. It doesn't sit right with me. I think that we should all be able to do what we want to do, not what we have to do or are told that we need to do. Like, be a good little worker and don't question the system. Don't go out and try to do something else because it's dangerous. Because if you go out there, you're going to fail and you're going to fall on your face and you're going to lose all your money. Well, I'm probably going to lose all my money anyways. Like, you think Social Security is going to be around when I'm retiring? You think I'm going to have anything if I don't go out and get it myself? If I just expect my little 401k or my pension to support me when I'm old and decrepit? No, I've seen what happens to people who are elderly and don't have money saved up or even have some money saved up. All it takes is one serious health issue. All it takes is one thing to just wipe you out. To just be a good little worker bee and listen to what everyone tells you to do and play it safe. It makes me feel like I'm trapped. And I don't like that feeling. I've never liked that feeling. I've never liked the idea of just doing what you're told to do. Maybe because the way that I grew up, and I never liked authority as a kid. It was something that I didn't do well with. I didn't do well in school because I felt very trapped in school. I hated school. I wanted to go out and make money to do my own thing. And you know what? It was probably stupid. Maybe I should have stayed in school, but look at me now, right? I mean, I could have stayed in school, but my life might have been a lot different if I would have. Who knows? Maybe if I would have stayed in school, I wouldn't be making what I make right now and doing the things that I'm doing right now. You know, it's just another piece of the system. If I would have gone to school and I would have gone down that whole path of, you know, going to school, graduating, maybe going to community college, maybe going to regular college or university and spending all that money on student loan debt and all that, maybe I wouldn't be able to have like a nice little bit of savings right now because I'd have to pay off all my student loan debt and I would be in a worse spot now. Maybe those little things that I've done differently and have stayed away from what the system tells me to do are things that have helped me to be able to say, no, I don't want to stay at the job, and no, I don't want to do what I'm supposed to do because I've never done what I'm supposed to do and I've been very successful. And I don't think that telling people to do what they're supposed to do for the sake of doing what they're supposed to do because it's the right thing to do because that's all you've been told and you don't know any better. It really is like generations of people who were told to do what they're supposed to do are telling other people to do what they're supposed to do. And those people are telling the next generation to do what they're supposed to do. And nobody knows why they're doing what they're supposed to do. They're just doing it because they were told that that's what they were supposed to do. And they don't want to go and try anything else because of all the scary reasons why you shouldn't do it. But nobody really knows why they're doing the thing that they're doing. They only know that that's what they're supposed to be doing. I don't know. I'm going to be different. I'm going to try different stuff. It's funny that so many people in my immediate circle of friends and family have been questioning like the safety and our thought process behind doing what we're doing. And it's so funny to me how so many people are so concerned about our safety and the future of our lives and the education of our children who were never concerned before, even though we've homeschooled our kids since they were born and they've never been in regular public school or regular schooling. Like, they were never worried about their education then, but now they're worried about their education because we're traveling, which nothing has changed. Our kids are more advanced than most kids their age that are in public school. So I'm not too worried about their education. And everybody's worried about how I'm going to make money, but nobody was worried about how we were going to survive when I was working parking cars in Vegas and my wife was a blackjack dealer. Like, does that feel like that was any more secure than what I've got going on now, that I've actually got like real skills that I can do from anywhere in the world? No, it's ridiculous. Nobody was worried about like what we're going to do with our finances, but nobody questioned any of our financial decisions all the way up until now. And all the financial decisions that my wife and I have made together have all been good financial decisions. So why would we start making big giant mistakes now? It's so funny that nobody cares until you do something that is not what you're supposed to do, until you do something that's not what the system tells you to do. And I know that I sound like I might be crazy, red-pilled, whatnot, but I've always been like this. I've always been anti-system. I've always been anti-establishment. I've always been anti-doing what you're supposed to do and following the rules. I've never followed the rules. I never have. And I've gotten this far, and I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. And one of the biggest reasons why is because I don't want to be trapped. I don't want to be stuck at the same job my whole life. I don't want to be stuck in the same house my whole life. I don't want to be stuck in the same neighborhood with the same friends and the same environment and the same buildings and the same life forever. Because it's just like, it might work for some people, but it's not what we like. My wife and I are adventurous. I regret not doing more things when I was younger in my 20s. And I think about like how I grew up. I grew up in a shitty little house, in a shitty neighborhood in Miami, in the same place, surrounded by the same four walls from when I was born till I was almost 18 years old. And I remember like not leaving my neighborhood or Miami until I was 18, till we moved out of there. And I was trapped and I didn't know it. And I didn't know any better to get out of there. And it's almost like when you get out, you realize that you were trapped, and you realize that everyone else is also trapped, but they don't know it. There's a thing called the allegory of the cave. It's just a little anecdote to end this video, but if you're not familiar with it, it's something that the Greek philosopher Plato came up with. And I'm going to paraphrase most of it. If I remember it correctly, there's prisoners that are locked in a cave and they're chained and they're only allowed to like face the wall. All they can do is face that wall, and they see the shadows that are being projected. And these shadows are just shadows of objects and people and things that are just kind of like moving past a fire. And that's all they see. That's all they know. They can't see the fire. They don't know what these objects are. And all they have are these shadows. So they start making these shadows their reality, and they start like scribing things to these shadows and giving them meaning. It becomes their reality. It becomes what they perceive as life. And that's all they know that the world to be, until one prisoner is freed. He's made to face the fire, right? The fire that creates the shadows, which I think is supposed to be like a sense of like enlightenment, or like that's what it's supposed to be. And he realizes that like his reality and what he thought was reality of the shadows on the wall aren't really reality, and that there's so much more to it than what he's been raised to know. And then eventually he goes outside and he sees sunlight for the first time. He's going through this very painful process of like realizing that the world that he has known this whole time really isn't the world, and he actually sees the world for what it is, and how the cave was just this place that he was locked into and forced to believe that that's what life was, but it really wasn't, and there was so much more to life. And he realizes like if he were to like go back into the cave, that he would be locked into that life, and that if he told the prisoners in the cave about everything he's seen and how like the life that they know in the cave isn't really life at all, and that there's more to life than what they have known their entire lives, that they wouldn't believe him. So it's very much what I think that the Matrix was originally created off of. And it's funny because I make red pill references in the Matrix and the allegory of the cave. It makes so much sense to like tie that into this video. And it really helps explain how I feel about the sense of being trapped and how like nobody understands it. And it makes me seem like I'm crazy, and it makes my wife seem crazy. And like what we're doing is this big crazy thing because it goes against what a lot of people do. But at the end of the day, like I know what the world is like out there. And when you talk to more people who have traveled, and when you've done it once, you realize how easy it actually is. And all those fears that you have building up for the first time doing it go away after you've done it once and you understand the process better. And then you realize that it's not as big and scary as you thought it was the very first time you've done it. And I've done that. I've been freed from the cave. I want to stay outside. And my outside of the cave is traveling and spending time with my family and exploring and like figuring out life and what it's all supposed to be. Not just what we're supposed to do, but like what it really, really is supposed to be. Our lives are short. Our time with our kids are short, and our experiences are like the only things that we really have. And our memories are like the only things that we really have. Everything else is just materialistic bullshit. Everything else is just stuff that we think we need that we don't really need. At the end of the day, it's really all about experiences and spending time with the people that you love. And that's all I'm trying to do. And it's so crazy that so many people are like, no, that's not what you're supposed to do. No, you don't know what you're doing. That goes against the rules. You're supposed to just work and spend as little time as possible with the people that you love and only have experiences 2 to 3 weeks out of the year when your job allows you to. It's so crazy. And then I'm the one that's crazy. I'm the one that's crazy for wanting to do this. Like, how does that even make sense? Like, how does it make sense that people will say that what I'm doing is bad for myself and my family, and like they're so concerned about my future? Don't worry about my future. I'll be fine. And the truth is, I'm probably going to have to work till I die anyways. So I might as well enjoy this time now and then just work later when I'm old and don't want to go anywhere. Then I can sit in front of a computer all day. With all that said, I'm starting to feel a little trapped now, just making this video and sitting in front of this light like I'm being interrogated. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I hope it was helpful. I feel a little bit better about it, so I hope you do too. And with all that said, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.